What is going on, guys? I am Septom Sierra George, the coach of the San Francisco Arcanines, and today I'll be bringing you my week number 8 team builder against the New Orleans Pelipers, or John, aka Pokemon, a very good friend of mine, probably my best YouTube friend actually. So he knows how I play. I know how he plays. He knows how I play. I know how he likes to build. He knows how I like to build. It's going to be a very interesting match, but this is the team I created. Now, this may seem a tiny bit rushed than my other team builders. I'm sorry. I do go back to college tomorrow, so I am in the middle of packing. I decided that I would stop packing for a bit and take a seat at my desk and just quickly record something. So that is why this might be a little bit quicker than my other team builders, but I do apologize for that. But anyways, let's get right on into it. So my first Pokemon, I was thinking at the start, I need to do something to stop the Sock immediately. As I did have, I just need to pull up his team again, I'm sorry. So his team is the Florges, the Raikou, the Hydreigon, Donphan, Chandelure, Sock, Ryu, Nicholas, Lantern, Virizion, Piloswine, and Mega Scizor. Now, Mega Scizor, he's gonna bring, I'm assuming. The Florges, yes, I could see it trying to be the counter to my Mega Lopunny. The Raikou, I'm assuming, because it outspeeds everything, is powerful. Hydreigon, he's definitely bringing, because it doesn't have really any counters on my team. I don't have any way of really dealing with it. The Chandelure, I'm assuming, is going to come as well, just because it hits my entire team very hard, except for my Umbreon, but he has ways of getting around that. Ryu Nicholas, I could see him bring. The Sock, I could see. He can bring every single mod on his team and run a set on it, and it would work against my team. But the first thing I kind of noticed is that if he brings Sock, like he watched Mike or MJ TV bring against me in the D League, he just let off with his Sock and clicked close combat. Now, that early on just aggressive play actually caught me off guard, and I feel like John, with his Sock, he could do the same thing. And usually he does like to run, he would have no reason of really running Mold Breaker on his Sock unless he wanted to hit my Bronzong with Earthquake. So if he were to bring Sock, I'm assuming it'd be Banded, and I'm assuming it'd be Sturdy. So I have to find a way where if he leads off with that, I have a surefire way of dealing with it, and my Sash Carodon is the way to go with this, in my opinion. Also, with Sash Carodon, it can take on any Pokemon 1v1 on his team and win. With the Superpower, I kill Hydreigon and the Virizion, as well as the Piloswine if it has to go for it. The Waterfall and the Knockoff kill everything else. It is also a great way of dealing with his Ryu Nicholas, because I can switch it on the Psychic type move and just go for knockoff. If he wants to Trick Room, I have the Sash, I can take a Focus Blast. So it's a really good failsafe to have, in my opinion, and that's why I decided to run it. Max attack, max speed, because I want the maximum amount of power possible, as well as max speed. So if he wants to outspeed me, he's going to have to run enough speed if he's on his Mons. And the max speed also, I think Proto is around the same speed. It allows me to outspeed the Mega Scizor, I think. But the next Pokemon is, I'm going back to my week 1 battle here, where I'm running a Choice Scarf Nidoqueen with hazards. I decided that I would once again be going with a Scarf Nidoqueen, because against his team, the Scarf Nidoqueen, it has the potential to OHKO everything on his team that it wouldn't outspeed. It doesn't outspeed the Virizion, but it OHKOs with the Sludge Wave. It doesn't outspeed the Sock, except it well, not OHKOs, but does a very large amount of damage. The Chandelure, if it's not Choice Scarf, it gets OHKO'd. The Donphan, unfortunately I don't have Ice Beam on this. I put Flamethrower over the Ice Beam for the Mega Scizor, but Earth Power does a lot. Hydreigon, the Sludge Wave, it kills. The Raikou, Earth Power, it kills. The Florges, the Sludge Wave, it kills. So with the coverage I have, I can really handle the majority of his team 1v1. The fact that I don't have Ice Beam on this set kind of cripples me, but I did need these Toxic Spikes. And the reason I need Toxic Spikes is because he has 2 ways of dealing with it. Mega Scizor or the Donphan. And if his Pokemon is Donphan, it has to first has to switch in on the Toxic Spikes. and then it'll be toxic. As well as I have a spin blocker in the form of my Rotom, and if he wants to bring the Mega Scizor as a defogger, he'll be losing a lot of momentum going for defog, as well as that's one less move on the Mega Scizor I have to deal with. So if I don't have to deal with an SD set then, or just all out attack, like it's just going to be a bulkier spread then, and I would know that for a fact. Also, I do like to be cheeky with this. I like to bluff my sets a bit if I can. So if I can go for Toxic Spikes on like the first or second turn, he's just going to think, okay, well, he went for Toxic Spikes. This is more of a support set, or it's more of just like a Life Orb set or something. And then I outspeed like the Raikou all of a sudden. I'm on low health. He has extra sensory. Goes for it, but he can't outspeed me, and I go for Earth Power and kill him. So that's the idea behind the set. I think I have enough speed to outspeed a Raikou, and that's pretty much it, because it's the fastest thing on his team. And yeah, so going on to my next Pokemon, I'm going on to Umbreon now. I decided to bring Umbreon because it was one of the only Pokemon that could actually handle Hydreigon and Raikou, as well as Reuniclus to some extent, and the Virizion to some extent. Umbreon has a lot of weaknesses against his team. A lot of the Pokemon have super effective moves against it. However, they don't do enough damage to where my Umbreon is completely useless. If, for example, if the Virizion were able to OHKO me with close combat, probably wouldn't have brought it. If the Raikou Zorosphere did more, probably wouldn't have brought it. If the Chandelure HP Fighting did more, or Overheat, etc., etc., etc. But the set I brought the Wish, Protect, the Baton Pass, and the Foul Play. I have the Foul Play. If the Chandelure is in, I'm probably going to go for the Foul Play. It's a lot of damage off on the Sock, the Mega Scizor, the Virizion, although it does give the Justified boost. Nothing on his team appreciates the damage that Foul Play would do, except for like the Florges. Maybe the Virizion can take it if it's more of a bulky set. Then of course I have the Wish because I want to be able to pass off the wishes to things like my Nidoqueen, maybe the Scizor with Rotom. Protect because I want to keep my Umbreon alive this game. In the past few games, I decided that my Umbreon was more of a pivot. While it does kind of fill the role still here, it's more of a wall in this case. It's more going to switch in on the things my team can't handle, like Hydreigon and Raikou. It's just going to be the sponge that this type of team needs, and then heal itself back up as they switch out, or go for like a Wish and then get all the momentum with Baton Pass, etc. So that's the idea behind Anubis right here. So that's pretty much it on that Pokemon. It's pretty self-explanatory. Now, I decided on my Rotom. Rotom is always a very tricky Pokemon for me to use. I love it. I love the typing, love the ability it has, love the move pool it has, the fact that it can be so supportive, but still deal a lot of damage with its supportive moves. But the EV spread always gets to me. It's in a unique speed tier where I can speed creep things, but a lot of the things I want to speed creep, I have to run a lot of speed investment, and when I bring my Rotom, I don't usually run it in an offensive way. I more run it in a more of a speedy, supportive way. And this is the epitome of speedy support. I have 212 speed investment with Timid, so that I believe I can outspeed. Sorry, just looking at his team right now. I believe it is. I'm trying to think of what I outspeed with that. I outspeed something with that. I'm just blanking on it. What would it be? Jolly Sock, I'm assuming. I outspeed Jolly Sock. I know that. And I think that's the Pokemon I decided to outspeed with it, so that I can burn him and not take a knockoff if I don't have Toxic Spikes up, or just go for Hex and kill him. Hex this game is going to be doing a lot of damage. I have Toxic Spikes and the Will-O-Wisp. If I'm able to keep the Toxic Spikes on the field, Hex becomes a move which is, I believe, 110 base power. 130 base power before stab. That is 195 base power after stab. That is a very strong attack, and even with no investment in special attack, this is still doing a massive amount of damage to things like Reuniclus, the Florges, the Donphan, the Scizor. Nothing wants to take it. So this Pokemon's main job is to burn you Volt Switch out, you Pain Split if you need to, and you spam Hex like no tomorrow. The only thing that really wants to switch in on this thing is the Hydreigon, because it doesn't mind being burned unless it has the superpower, which John has watched me take down Umbreon with a Dragon type two seasons in a row, and I've done the exact same strategy. Draco Meteor until weak, and then superpower. And he has a Pokemon which can very arguably do it better and more methodically than I did it with Goodra, because Hydreigon has more physical offense, I believe. So the superpower will be doing more to us. But just like I said, this Pokemon can handle pretty much everything 1v1 except the Hydreigon, maybe the Florges. Other than that, it's just made to take hits, made to support if necessary, made to gain momentum. That's what my two walls. I call this my wall as well, because it has just a very good synergy with Umbreon, and the fact that I have Baton Pass on Umbreon and the Volt Switch on my Rotom means I'll be getting initiative a lot on these more supportive mons, and that's really what I need. Now going into my Mega Lopunny. Of course I have to bring Mega Lopunny. Come on, guys. I'm crazy if I don't bring Mega Lopunny. Actually, I want to quickly check. So that's 184. That's 123. So that'll be about 61 extra, which would put us at 184. So yes, this Mega Lopunny speed is made to outspeed Raikou because it's the fastest thing he has. I can't outspeed Choice Scarf Chandelure with Jolly anyway, so I don't have to really worry about it. Of course, I worry about it, but it's not like I can actually do anything about it. I decided not to go with Fake Out Last Resort this week because John's team is more accustomed to dealing with that, while he doesn't have any reliable switch-ins to Fake Out Last Resort. It's not something I want to bring against John just because I feel like he's going to have a few ways of dealing with this Pokemon, and right off the top of my head, I can think of if the Florges is defensive, it can definitely take a Fake Out and a Last Resort and just Moonblast me. The Donphan can be physically defensive, and then High Jump Kick will be doing a lot, but not enough to where I'll be able to probably 2-hit KO. Ryu Nicholas, I don't know why, but this week I really think that Ryu Nicholas is going to be Regenerator, and it's going to have the Rocky Helmet. I'm not convinced. Obviously, I'm not convinced, but I really think that's his best way of dealing with my Mega Lopunny. On the Fake Outs, on the returns, he can go into a physically defensive Ryu Nicholas, have Regenerator, and Rocky Helmet, and just constantly get chip damage off of me. If he has up his rocks, it's going to be doing a lot to me, even though I resist the rocks. Take what, like 17% from Rocky Helmet, 6% from rocks, 23% in a turn. That's a lot. And that's another reason why Toxic Spikes was such a big thing this week, because if he does actually bring a Regenerated Ryu Nicholas over Magic Guard, like I'm thinking he's going to do, although Magic Guard is still incredibly useful, it just depends on the set he wants to bring on his Ryu Nicholas. It's a Pokemon that can run many different sets and use it effectively. He could go Life Orb, Trick Room, Leftovers, Calm Mind, Defensive Regenerator, Rocky Helmet. There's a plethora of sets he could run, but if he wants to try to counter Mega Lopunny, I think he's going to be running a set like that. Piloswine can't deal with this thing, and then the only other Pokemon I can think of is Mega Scizor, which can definitely take high jump kicks if it's physically defensive. But I'm not only running High Jump Kick to deal with Mega Scizor because Mega Scizor is such a threat. I have so many ways on this team of dealing with Mega Scizor. If I get swept by it, I'm going to be so sad because I over-prepared like a crazy person for this Pokemon. I have Fire Punch on the Mega Lopunny, I have Flamethrower on the Nidoqueen, I have Hex and the Will-O-Wisp on my Rotom, I have the Focus Sash on my Crawdon, which means it can stop a sweep in the late game if necessary. And I have one more interesting set that deals with Mega Scizor, and it's gonna come right now, guys. So I have the Fire Punch to take out the Mega Scizor if necessary. Mega Lopunny, once again, is just gonna fulfill the role. It's gonna be a revenge killer and a late game sweeper. That's just basically how it works. Now this next Pokemon, this is gonna be This is the set I'm most proud of. Now, you guys can see it's Scizor, but I just want to say a quick thing about Scizor, is it was my first round draft pick. But it has come to 2 games this entire season. Now, for a first round draft pick, that's not something you want. As the coach of the Arcaniners, I pride myself on the fact that I was able to get such great usage out of my lower tier mons. However, I feel I need to get more usage out of my higher draft picks. For example, when you look at my team, the highest drafted thing right now was my Scizor. However, everything else, Nidoking was drafted in the 4th round, and everything else is below that. I left out Goodra, I left out Scizor, obviously not Scizor, but I left out Goodra and Gothitelle. And it's just, yeah, just wanted to get that out there. But anyway, the Scizor set, the battle of the Scizors this week. It's going to be a battle of the Scizors this week, I think. Do you know how many people have told me to run HP Fire on my Scizor? Do you know how bad of an idea that is? You have to run special attack investment to even touch Mega Scizor with HP Fire, and you don't even KO still. It's a terrible idea. Maybe on Mega Scizor, but on regular Scizor, no. No, I'm sorry. Do not put HP Fire on regular Scizor. It's not a good idea. I have a different strategy of how I'm going to go about this. Now, Natural Gift is very similar to a Hidden Power in the sense of it can be any type. It's a little bit stronger, but you have to give up your item for it. Now, there's a reason why I'm perfectly fine with giving up my item, is I have a specific plan for my Scizor, is I'm going to bluff a Choice Scarf, a Band, or something like that. I'm going to bluff one of the 2 choiced items until I can get it in on the Mega Scizor and I can Natural Gift it and take it out. If he has HP Fire on his Mega Scizor and he's running a lot of speed to outspeed me, well then props to him. I don't know what I can do then. But I don't think he'll be running HP Fire. It won't even do enough to me to take me out if he's not invested in special attack. Natural Gift is a clean OHKO on any variant of Mega Scizor. Sorry. Then I have the Bullet Punch because of priority. Can take out things in the endgame. Okay, we're good. Knockoff for knockoff reasons. U-turn, again, I want to bluff my choiced item really well. I want to go into things that I just want him to think in his head, this thing is banded, this thing is Choice Scarfed. I can't stay in on Hydreigon at 40% because I can't take a Bullet Punch from a banded Scizor. Guess I'll go into my Mega Scizor, take the Bullet Punch. Wow, that didn't do a lot. Great. I guess I can go for a knockoff right here or something, or I can U-turn out. I run a lot of speed. I outspeed him. I Natural Gift, take him out, end game. Simple as that. Natural Gift also, it's a gimmick, but it's a gimmick that really works. It's not really a gimmick. Natural Gift sets, when you throw a Natural Gift on a Pokemon, you have a specific group or cluster of Pokemon that you are dealing with by using this move. In the GBA, when the draft, or in really any draft league format, Natural Gift is even better because you can only bring 4 moves, obviously, but the amount of Pokemon you are preparing for is reduced drastically from the Smogon tiers or VGC or something like that. You're dealing with 60 to 100, 200 Pokemon that you have to prepare for, so throwing a Natural Gift to deal with that 1 or 2 Pokemon isn't viable. However, in the GBA, when I only have to prepare for only 11 Pokemon, Natural Gift is very viable in that setting. And that's why I decided to run it. I don't think John is expecting it. I don't think he is going to expect it, but I can't reveal it too early on. I don't want him thinking there's a trick up his sleeve, because I know he knows about HP Fire Scizor. I know he knows that it's going to be doing a lot to his Mega Scizor if it comes down to it. But it's not going to kill, and that's what I'm thinking about here, is that's why I have Natural Gift, because the HP Fire does not do enough. But anyways, guys, that's the team. I did say this would be short, but I just rambled. I ramble, man. It's just what happens. But anyways, guys, that is the team I will be bringing against the New Orleans Pelipers, or John, aka Pokemon, my good friend, fellow coach. I don't know. It's John, guys. It's John. A lot of people have been looking forward to this, and I'm looking forward to this. So until tomorrow, guys, I'm Septom Seer George, your coach of the San Francisco Arcaniners, and peace out.